From the common name the team contest to copying Major League Baseball team names, each NFL franchise has a fun and unique backstory in how their name was selected. Some team nickname origins are not surprising, while others will make you wonder why in the world did that name get picked. My name is Jeff Lurks, and welcome to Lurks Lessons, a monthly channel on where I explain all you need to know about becoming a sports fan of a professional or collegiate team, along with other sports-related topics. Let's dive in to see how every AFC team got its name. The Baltimore Ravens. Ever since the controversial relocation of the Baltimore Colts going to Indianapolis in 1984, the city of Baltimore was hungry for an NFL franchise. They got their wish in 1996 when Art Modell, owner of the Cleveland Browns, decided to move his team to Maryland. The deal was the Browns' name, colors, uniform designs, and history would stay in Cleveland, but the current players of the team would be considered an expansion team in Baltimore. A fan contest was given to decide the new name, and there were over 33,000 submissions, some that included the Marauders and Americans. The Ravens were picked due to the inspiration of the famous poem The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe, who lived in Baltimore and is buried there. The Cincinnati Bengals. In 1968, the city of Cincinnati was awarded the 10th and final franchise to the American Football League and was spearheaded by former Cleveland Browns head coach Paul Brown. Now the team owner, general manager, and head coach for Cincy, Brown chose to name his new team the Bengals in honor of the previous Bengals football team that played in Cincinnati from 1937 to 1942. Brown believed the name would provide a link with past professional football in Cincinnati. Can you imagine if he instead chose the fans' most popular suggestion, the Buckeyes? The Cleveland Browns. The city of Cleveland saw their professional football franchise take the field in the newly established All-American Football Conference in 1946. Team owner Arthur "Mickey" McBride conducted a fan contest to name the team in 1945, and the popular submission was Brown, named after Paul Brown, the head coach. Paul vetoed the choice and instead chose the name Panthers, but a local businessman informed the team that he already owned the rights to the name Cleveland Panthers from an earlier failed football team. Brown in the end relented and agreed to the use of his name. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Art Rooney Sr. applied for an NFL franchise in May of 1933, and the team was born as the Pittsburgh Pirates. The team was named after the city's Major League Baseball team, which was a common practice for pro football teams at that time. Before the 1940 season, Rooney held a Rename the Team contest because the franchise was abysmal, and Art wanted a refresh. After numerous options that were submitted, Rooney chose the name Steelers in honor of the city's steel mill heritage. The name stayed the same except during a brief period in Americans' involvement in World War II. Because of player availability being scarce due to the war, the 1943 NFL season saw the Steelers merge with the Philadelphia Eagles and became known as the Steagles. They unmerged after the season, but the Steelers then merged with the Chicago Cardinals, only for the 1944 season, and were known as the Card Pit, or informally as Carpets, or Carpets. The Houston Texans. On October 6, 1999, Houston was awarded the NFL's 32nd franchise, 3 years after the Houston Oilers packed up their bags and left for Tennessee to become the Titans. In deciding the team's name, focus groups were formed and a list of 5 finalists were selected: Bobcats, Stallions, Wildcatters, Apollos, and Texans. Team owner Bob McNair was positive in selecting the Stallions, but chose not to since the horse imagery was overused in the league. Texans was ultimately chosen to be a representative of the bravery of Texas natives and something unique to Houston and the NFL. The Indianapolis Colts. Before moving to Indianapolis, Indiana in 1984, the Colts NFL franchise originally played in Baltimore, Maryland from 1953 to 1983. The Baltimore Colts franchise has a unique and deep history, but their name was chosen from a Name the Team contest when it was announced the city had a football team to play in the developing All-American Football Conference in 1947. The name Colts was chosen to pay homage to the rich tradition of horse breeding and racing in the Baltimore area. The Jacksonville Jaguars. The city of Jacksonville, Florida was awarded the 30th NFL franchise as an expansion team in 1993, alongside the Carolina Panthers, beating out cities with other bids from St. Louis, Baltimore, and Memphis. All 5 cities were listed as finalists for an expansion team back in 1991, when the NFL announced they would expand 2 teams by 1995. A Name the Team contest was held back in 91, with popular choices like Sharks and Stingrays making the top of the list. However, the name Jaguars was selected because at the time, the oldest living jaguar in the United States was living at the Jacksonville Zoo. The Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans originally played in Texas as the Houston Oilers from 1960 to 1996. Originally founded as a charter member of the American Football League, the name Oilers was chosen due to the oil industry being the largest part of the economy and workforce in the state of Texas. Original owner Bud Adams eventually moved the team to Nashville, Tennessee, and kept the Oiler name for 2 seasons, being known as the Tennessee Oilers. A statewide contest to rename the team was orchestrated by Adams, which produced nicknames like Tornadoes, Copperheads, South Stars, and Wranglers as options. Titans was the name Adams chose because he explained to reporters, "We wanted a new nickname to reflect strength, leadership, and other heroic qualities." A new color scheme came along with a new name. The Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bisons took the field in the newly established All-American Football Conference in 1946, a rival pro league to the already established NFL. After 1 season, the team owner held a Name the Team contest to change the traditional Bison name attached to past Buffalo Pro teams. The name Bills became the winning choice, which was a reference to frontiersman Buffalo Bill Cody, beating out names like the Blue Devils, Nickels, and Bullets. When the AAFC merged with the NFL in 1950, the Buffalo franchise was not included. Founded in 1960 as a charter member of the American Football League, owner Ralph Wilson kept the Bills' name to honor the old team from the AAFC. The Miami Dolphins. The city of Miami was awarded an expansion team to the American Football League in 1966 to team owner Joe Robbie. With the hope in having his AFL team in Philadelphia, the AFL commissioner Joe Foss persuaded Robbie not to compete with the already established NFL team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and agreed to move to the warm climate and growing population of South Beach. A Name the Team contest was held in 1965 and received close to 20,000 entries that produced over 1,000 different names. The winning name, Dolphins, was submitted by over 600 entrants. Robbie liked the name because the dolphin is one of the fastest and smartest creatures in the sea. The New England Patriots. In 1959, the city of Boston was awarded the 8th and final charter member of the developing American Football League. Team owner Billy Sullivan gave the locals a chance to participate in a Name the Team contest, with over 70 submissions having Patriots as their choice. Because of the area's rich heritage to the birthplace of the American Revolution, the Boston Patriots took the field in 1960. In 1971, the team changed their name to New England to become a more regional name to attract fans all over the Northeast. The New York Jets. The New York Jets used to be known as the Titans of New York, as they were an original charter member of the American Football League in 1960. Even though there was already an NFL team in New York City called the Giants, team owner Harry Wismer wanted his AFL squad to be called the Titans because Titans are bigger and stronger than Giants. In 3 short years, the team went bankrupt and was sold to a new ownership group in 1963, led by Sonny Werblin. Werblin chose to rename the team to Jets, since the team would play near LaGuardia Airport at Shea Stadium, where the Major League Baseball team New York Mets played, and both names rhyme. Their colors will also change from navy blue and gold to Kelly green and white. The Denver Broncos. In 1960, the city of Denver was a charter member to the newly formed American Football League. The name Bronco is an unbroken or untamed horse and was the winning entry that was selected from a Name the Team contest. The winner out of 162 entries was by Ward M. Vinning, who also submitted a 25-word essay with their name of choice. The nickname is a great reference to Denver's Wild West heritage and has been with the team's name ever since. The Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs used to be known as the Dallas Texans, who were a charter member of the American Football League in 1960. However, in hopes to drive the team out of the city, the NFL established the Dallas Cowboys that same year. After 3 years of battling for the attention of the locals, owner Lamar Hunt decided to move his team in 1963 to Kansas City, where there was no NFL franchise to compete with. In hopes of keeping the Texans nickname, Hunt was persuaded to hold a Name the Team contest to raise local interest. Hunt ultimately chose the name Chiefs over Mules, Royals, and Stars. Hunt stated the name was locally important because of the Native Americans who once lived in the region. The Las Vegas Raiders. Founded as the original 8 charter members of the American Football League in 1960, the Oakland Raiders were originally going to be called the Seniors. Chet Soda, Oakland's first general manager, sponsored a Name the Team contest that had the name finish first. In allusion to the old Spanish settlers of Northern California, the nickname was ridiculed in the weeks that followed. Before the 1960 season started, Soda and other team investors changed the name to Raiders, which was claimed to be another top finalist in the contest that was surrounded by controversy. Even though the team relocated multiple times throughout its storied franchise, the name hasn't changed. The Los Angeles Chargers. The team's origins date back to 1960 when the Los Angeles Chargers was one of the 8 charter members of the newly formed American Football League. A Name the Team contest provided team general manager Frank Leahy the name Chargers that team owner Baron Hilton really enjoyed. Legend has it that no other submission was reviewed in the contest after reading the Chargers' suggestion. Hilton told reporters that he was fond of the Charge bugle cry that played at Dodger Stadium and at the Los Angeles Coliseum for USC games. In 1961, the team made a move to San Diego after 1 season in LA, but have returned to the City of Angels in 2017, keeping the name the entire time. If you enjoy learning about sports or sports-related topics, please consider subscribing.